Good afternoon, welcome to Cusick Park, Mullingar for the 2013 Shea Mortar Precast Senior Football Championship between Tyrrellspass and St. Lomans. This Tyrrellspass team in goals is Darren Quinn, full back line, Owen O'Neill 2, Philip Sheridan 3, who will play in the half back line, and 4 Shane Arthur. Number 5 David Jessup, number 17 Ben Gavin, in for the injured Gavin Oy, and Ben will play in the full back line, and number 7 is Jamie Ganood. Centre field number 8 Jerry Egan and number 9 Dean McNicholas. Half forward line Conor Slevin wears 10, David Lennon is captain at number 11 and Aaron O'Brien number 12. Number 13 Brian Slevin. At 14 Martin Flanagan. 19 years after playing his first final in 94, he comes looking for a 4th senior championship medal, and number 15 is Dennis Glennon. The Lomans team in goals is Stephen Gallagher, number 2 Stephen Gilmore, 3 Shane Flynn, Adam Carroll is 4, Paddy Dowdle is 5, Gary Glennon 6, David Whelan 7, Kieran Kilmurray 8, Willie McGovern is 9, Owen Price 10, Kelvin Riley 11 and Conrad Riley is 12, Paul Sherry 13, John Heston captain 14, Shane Dempsey 15, Niall Ward throws the ball in, it's knocked down by Jerry Egan, Dean McNicholas drives it long in towards the full forward line, Aaron O'Brien gets onto it, Dennis Dennon is onto it, Dennis Dennon with a shot, Stephen Gallagher is a safe pair of hands there, leaves it out to Shane Flynn, and away come the men from St. Lomans. Out here now to Willie McGovern. McGovern under pressure, fouled, and the referee blows for a free that's taken quickly, and Paul Sherry gets action away again, and Lomans drive the ball into the half forward line. Ball goes to ground. Back they go for it. A push and a foul on Jamie Ganood there, and Tyrrellspass and Jerry Egan have moved the ball on again. The ball up here to Brian Slevin. All action in the first minute of the game as everybody is trying to probe an opening. David Lennon nicely inside here. The ball further on in here. Ben Gavin leaves it inside. A chance here for Tyrrellspass, and Brian Slevin held up momentarily, and Lomans come away with it. Good defending by the Lomans defenders there. Question marks over their defence, I suppose, the last day, but they're certainly showing tightness in the early minute here as the ball is worked out eventually to Owen Price. Back here to the flying David Whelan. David Whelan, a lovely ball in towards Heston. Heston gets his hand down to it, but there's plenty of help there for the full back line, and away the ball is fed out by Tyrrellspass. Dean McNicholas now on his own 45. Back to Ben Gavin. Ben Gavin out here to Jamie Ganood. Jamie Ganood outside his own 45, heading towards the 65, under a bit of pressure, gets the ball away there to Philip Sheridan. Philip Sheridan, experienced player, puts it back to Jamie Ganood. Crossfield ball now, and it's McNicholas. McNicholas, lovely ball to the far side to Shane Arthur, wearing the number 4, 45 metres out. Arthur puts the ball inside, Flanagan can't get onto it. Ball goes to ground, Flanagan adjudged to have fouled in there, and it's going to be a free out for St. Lomans. So all action in the first 2 minutes, nothing on the scoreboard, but plenty of up and down the field play. Paul Sherry going back to help in defence, carrying the ball out to the 45 metre line and beyond, looking for options, finds Adam Carroll available here on the 65, the stand side. Nice ball inside, picked up by Willie McGovern. McGovern in here to Kelvin Riley. Riley, nice pass back to Riley. The shot from Riley, and it's gone wide. Nice ball back from Owen Price, but didn't have accuracy, and the ball goes out wide. 2.5 minutes in to the 2013 final. Lomans 1963, all of 50 years ago since they captured the Flanagan Cup. And for Tyrrellspass, we just go back to 2007 when they won their 3rd title. So big stakes for both teams here. The kick out from Darren Quinn is a good one to the middle of the field near the stand side. It's picked up well there by Conor Slevin. The ball driven now for David Jessup in towards that full foul line. Aaron O'Brien manages to knock it down, but away towards the sideline here, and the plenty of help that's there is for the men from Lomans, and Stephen Gilmore in particular. Holding on to possession, gets it away to Conrad Riley. The ball across there to Paddy Dowdle. Paddy Dowdle over halfway. Dowdle, long ball, they're going for long ball inside. It's knocked down and picked up by Philip Sheridan from the break. Philip Sheridan under pressure gives the ball away, and John Heston has it. Heston now, the ball back there with Kelvin Riley. Kelvin Riley running around the half-forward line, getting particularly nowhere for the moment, but does find his own man, which was Conrad Riley, back to Kelvin, but it's broken by Tyrrellspass. Jerry Egan knocking it away there to Dean McNicholas. Dean McNicholas coming to midfield, coming to the 65 and driving a low ball, enters Dennis Glennon in the corner. Dennis Glennon, 14 metres out, comes away from Stephen Gilmore. Glennon, the shot is high, it's heading out, but Flanagan is trying to keep it in play. It's gone wide. Out wide before Martin Flanagan got a hand to it. And danger alerted there, and 4 minutes and 13 seconds gone. We've had no scores, but we've had plenty of up and down the field action. Both defences showing a fair degree of tightness, I suppose, from their semi-finals. Particularly, people would have felt that defence-wise, both teams exposed and lots of scores got against them, but certainly so far keeping it quite tight. Middle of the field, key areas Tom Coffey alluded to in interviews during the week, and Jerry Egan winning the possession there at that kick out and winning the free. Jerry Egan, key man for Tyrrellspass, puts it into another key man, Dennis Glennon. Lucky there, the ball broke for him. Glennon in possession, under pressure. Still Glennon has to come out a long ways there and feeds the ball back to Shane Arthur. A hopeful cross-field ball that's held well and knocked down there by David Whelan to the Lomans men, and they're breaking up the field with Shane Flynn and ultimately Owen Price. Owen Price, nice cross-field ball there. Ian Heston trying to get onto it. Manages to hold possession. Several players around him, but it gets the ball away to Owen Price. Owen Price picks the ball off the ground. His shot was wide anyhow, but Niall Ward has blown for a free for Tyrrellspass. Interesting there when Heslin got possession of the ball, 2-3 Tyrrellspass men beginning to descend upon him. The free is taken quickly by David Jessup, back to Darren Quinn. Darren Quinn well out of his goals now, looking for options. Huge cross-field ball, but that could be a problem as it's well read there by David Whelan. David Whelan onto it, gets by Conor Slevin. David Whelan, the shot from 20 metres out, it's high, but it's not accurate, it's gone out and gone wide. David Whelan reading the intention of Darren Quinn's long crossfield ball, got onto it but didn't make full use of it, and he shot wayward and wide to the far side of the far upright as we look down here to our left from the stand. So everybody talked about the shootout between Heslin and Glennon so far today. We've had 6.5 minutes of action and the scoreboard hasn't registered. Darren Quinn's kick to the middle of the field, knocked on by McNicholas, but Owen Price wins the breaking ball for Lomans, comes forward inside the 65 now. McGovern gives it back to Paul Sherry. Paul Sherry checks on the 45. Conrad Riley back to Owen Price. Owen Price across here to Kieran Kilmurray. Kilmurray, nice ball in. Heslin pushed the man away and takes his shot and puts it wide. Certainly the Tyrrellspass people in the stand here would have felt that was a foul by John Heslin. The referee didn't think so, but from the resultant action, John Heslin was wide. We still wait a score. 7.5 minutes in to the final. The ball for Jerry Egan, but he can't make that. It's out over the line, and Kieran Kilmurray with the quick line ball to Owen Price. Owen Price slips it back to Kilmurray. Kilmurray with a high ball towards the full back line, lost there. The chance, the shot from Heslin, and it's over the bar. Owen O'Neill missing the ball going in there. John Heslin says thank you very much, and John Heslin, it's taken 8 minutes, but John Heslin gets the first score of the 2013 final. Kick out from Darren Quinn, middle of the field. Battle is being won again, this time by Lomans and Owen Price. And Owen Price doing a lot of good hard running there into Conrad Riley. Nice ball across here to Shane Dempsey. Dempsey goes in, the shot from Shane Dempsey, the point for Lomans. Well, one or two of the early exchanges, Tyrrellspass were possibly winning the breaks around the middle, but in the last few it's been Lomans, and that particular good piece of work by Owen Price carved the opening, and eventually Shane Dempsey with the second score. 2 points to no score after 9 minutes of play. Tyrrellspass have walked it short this time. Philip Sheridan, and that's a high challenge. That is clearly a yellow card for Kieran Kilmurray. Very, very high challenge there on the Tyrrellspass man. And the first yellow card of the game comes after 9 minutes. Yes. Philip Sheridan recovered. Jerry Egan to take the free for Tyrrellspass in the centre of the field at the stand side. Ball driven down for Aaron O'Brien. He's been accompanied by two Lomans players, Adam Carroll and Gary Glennon, and the ball goes out and goes wide. Stephen Gallagher's kick, low, but has the capacity and does find David Whelan. Whelan back to Adam Carroll, Owen Price, Gary Glennon, Paul Sherry. Been played around the backs a bit. Adam Carroll again. Back to Glennon. Glennon puts the ball across the half line to Paddy Dowdle. Paddy Dowdle going forward now. Tyrrellspass 45. Skips by his man. Still Dowdle gets it out to the far side there, and it's Conrad Riley with a shot unopposed, puts it in, and Conrad Riley has put it over the bar. 3 points for St. Lomans after 11 minutes of play here in Tyrrellspass. Struggling with the physicality, the fair physicality of the Lomans defence and middle third, who seem to be winning an awful lot of breaks. Darren Quinn to the centre of the field. Sherry goes up, knocks down Paddy Dowdle onto it. A lot of outers Conrad Riley. A lot of good work being done around this middle third by Lomans, winning everything for the minute. That time the ball cut out by David Jessup. Jerry Egan under a lot of pressure gets the ball away. Shane Arthur, one of the more experienced men, one of two men going for a fourth medal today, Martin Flanagan being the other. Ball up here to David Lennon. David Lennon skipping by a couple of players, leaves the ball in there to Conor Slevin. Conor Slevin running at the defence, held up, loses possession, ball gone to ground. Nothing called. It's eventually out to Paul Sherry. Paul Sherry on the 45 out to Owen Price. Owen Price up and down this wing and doing a lot of good work and getting a lot of good ball into the John Heslin. John Heslin flicks it back to Kelvin Riley. Kelvin Riley 20 metres out. He shoots. Oh, very wayward. Had a great chance there and he put it wide. 12 and a half minutes. 4 wides for Lomans, 2 wides for Tyrrellspass. Lomans with a 3-point lead and very much dominating exchanges so far. Tom Coffey with instructions across the half back line there towards the Tyrrellspass men, not happy with the way things are unfolding for the minute. Kieran Kilmurray goes up, doesn't manage to bring the ball down, but the break goes to Paul Sherry. Paul Sherry puts it inside and Price onto it again. Owen Price winning an awful lot of ball here. Puts it into David Whelan. David Whelan loses out to David Jessup. David Jessup for Tyrrellspass, winning back possession and moving them out. Philip Sheridan now on his 45 when he got it. Nice ball up here to David Lennon. David Lennon checked back there by Paddy Dowdle fairly under pressure, gets the ball back, and it's driven in by David Jessup, but only to the waiting hands of a Lomans man, Conrad Riley. Conrad Riley held up there, the ball over to Owen Price, as it's Shane Dempsey now in possession. Conrad Riley still down. There's a free out for Tyrrellspass when play resumes, but the stoppage in play for a moment because Conrad Riley is down and linesman is having a little word with the referee about what did or didn't happen. There is not going to be anything by way of sanction from the referee from what I can see there, but Conrad Riley is still down, so stoppage in play here. 14 minutes in, St. Lomans 3 points, Tyrrellspass still to score.
No play because of treatment to the aforementioned Conrad Riley in the middle of the field. He chipped it a knock there after he played the grass ball forward. He's on his feet again, I'm glad to say, and no serious damage to him. But what a break to the pitch. Lomans have got a nice hat to set them down very well, those 3 points. Yeah, definitely, you know, and they could be further.
Tyrrellspass with a quick free up to Philip Sheridan here. Jamie Ganood now leaves it out further. McNicholas now with a long ball down towards Aaron O'Brien. Wouldn't, to me, feel like a man with the height of that to do damage in there. Conrad Riley working hard there. It's eventually fed back here to Owen Price. Owen Price on his own 65 midfield now, puts the ball across, and it's picked up by McGovern to Paul Sherry. Paul Sherry 65 metres out. Getting by Conor Steven, checked back, and but still gets the ball in to David Whelan. David Whelan over here to Owen Price. Owen Price back to Whelan. Paul Sherry. Paul Sherry with the shot. Paul Sherry with a fine point. After 15 and a half minutes, Paul Sherry puts Lomans 4 points to the good, 4 points to 0. Darren Quinn's kick to the middle of the field, up they go for it, ball breaks, Jerry Egan onto the break, faced by Paul Sherry, fouled by Paul Sherry and Kieran Kilmurray combined, and a free for the Tyrrellspass man 50 metres out on the side, and drives it in, Flanagan in there. Dennis Lennon couldn't either get their hand to it, and Stephen Gilmore, the safe pair of hands in the full back line, gets it out to Paul Sherry. Paul Sherry for Lomans as they break clear, eventually to Kelvin Riley. Kelvin Riley across there to Shane Flynn. Shane Flynn wearing the number 3, but he's now 65 metres from the other goal as Willie McGovern gets it out to Owen Price, who's got an awful lot of possession. Back to Shane Flynn. Shane Flynn now taking on David Jessup. Goes back to Owen Price. Owen Price 50 metres out. The ball now to Willie McGovern on the 45. Across to Conrad Riley. Centre of the kind of field, 50 metres out to Kieran Kilmurray. Kilmurray twisting and turning, trying to get by Conor Steven. Kilmurray with the shot and Kilmurray with the point. 5 points now for after 17 minutes of play here. 5 points to St. Lomans, and Tyrrellspass have not registered a score in the county final of 2013 to date. Darren Quinn's kick to the middle of the field, out over the sideline here. Dean McNicholas unable to hold it in play, and we have a line ball for St. Lomans and Owen Price. Crossfield ball to the completely unmarked Conrad Riley. Conrad Riley heading for the 45 now. Heading inside, 35 metres out, the shot goes into the arms of Darren Quinn. Darren Quinn puts it out there to Owen O'Neill. Owen O'Neill for Tyrrellspass, out to David Jessup. David Jessup, 35 metres out. Good ball up the field here where it's picked up by Brian Slevin. Brian Slevin, 65 metres out. Low ball, Martin Flanagan, first action for Flanagan. Flanagan under a bit of pressure, getting away from the full back, fouled by Shane Flynn, says the referee, and a free end for Tyrrellspass. 35 metres out near the sideline here, maybe 15 metres in from this stand end sideline, or stand side sideline. Jerry Egan given the responsibility now.
Hoping that they might end up in the arms of Flanagan, or then it hasn't happened so for, but this is a chance for Jerry Egan. Jerry, remarkably accurate from place balls. He's 35, 40 metres out from the goals. He's going to take this on this.
Now Jerry Egan, the right-footed kick. It's tailing away, but it's still in play. It's knocked out. Picked up by Conrad Riley. Or kicked away down towards Kelvin Riley. Kelvin Riley now under pressure from Ben Gavin, but Ben Gavin adjudged to have done the fouling there, and Kelvin Riley with a free, which he puts across to Willie McGovern. Takes return from him, and the ball knocked away off the Tyrrellspass man, Ben Gavin, and it's a line ball for St. Lomans, just inside the 65-metre line. Lomans on the attack. Ball driven in towards the full forward line. Heslin goes and gets in front of Shane Arthur, wins possession under pressure. Heslin with the shot, and Heslin with the point. John Heslin, despite the attentions of a couple of players there, Shane Arthur and Jamie Ganood in particular, managing to win possession and getting his shot in, and Lomans stretch it to 6 points.
Much more ball kicked in, and so it's all going for Lomans at the moment. Seems to win in every sector of balls.
They're winning everywhere, all over the pitch. It seems like Tyrrellspass in a bit of trouble, PJ, but they just can't get their hands on that ball.
Yeah, Lomans just completely dominated.
Shane Arthur gets the shortish kick out on his own 45, puts it up to Ben Gavin. Ben Gavin now leaves it back to Jamie Ganood. Jamie Ganood, ball eventually played back to Ben Gavin. Ben Gavin puts it inside. Ball fed in here to Brian Slevin. Brian Slevin takes a heavy challenge there. Referee doesn't see anything wrong with it. Brian Slevin on the turf, and Lomans have broken up. Adam Carroll in possession here. Adam Carroll adjudged to have been fouled. Bit of afters going on there outside the 45-metre line. Niall Ward giving a free to Lomans, but there's treatment for Brian Slevin.
Warming up a couple of their subs, which is tradition, of course, in all sports really nowadays, to have people there constantly warming up, and no sign of any activity around like that from either bench. Tyrrellspass, as we told you, starting without and up their centre half back, Gavin Hoy. That certainly wasn't to go in this half. Referee Niall Ward.
Action resumes with David Whelan for the the referee not happy with it, has to be retaken. Owen Price this time taking the quick free for Lomans, and it's gone out over the line, and David Jessup now with a line ball for Tyrrellspass in the middle of the field. Hit and hope it's ball up into the middle. Foul on Dennis Lennon there, and a free for Tyrrellspass. 35 metres or so out. Jerry Egan, I think. Yes, Jerry Egan, the man given the responsibility to try and get Tyrrellspass on the scoreboard. 22 minutes into the first half. Kieran Kilmurray being asked by the referee to come back and give the appropriate distance. Egan with the shot, it's high. The umpire likes this one, it's over the bar, and after 22 minutes of play in the 2013 final, Jerry Egan opens the score for Tyrrellspass. St. Lomans, however, with a commanding lead. St. Lomans 6 points, Tyrrellspass 1 point. Stephen Gallagher for a moment thought of a quick kick out there to Paul Sherry, but he now has the attention of Martin Flanagan, who seems to be going out more towards the centre. And Gallagher going long this time, huge kick, well over halfway, up to the 65 on the other side, and it breaks to Willie McGovern. Willie McGovern into Paul Sherry, and Lomans coming at them again. Paul Sherry making good headway inside the 45, back to Shane Dempsey, a score early from Shane Dempsey, another effort and another point from Shane Dempsey. Shane Dempsey, all of the full forward line for Lomans have scored. Dempsey 2, Jesslyn 2 and Paul Sherry 1 so far, as they've accumulated a total of 7 points. The quick kick out, Jamie Ganood working very hard in his own 45 under an awful lot of pressure there, and Heslin wins it back from him. Heslin puts the ball in, he's fouled, and a bit of afters between Dean McNicholas and John Heslin. And
referees in there, nothing going on. Heslin back to the feet, and the referee is going to speak to him. John, don't do that. John's going to get a free. It'll be his first attempt, I think, for a free in the first half. I'm sure there's very few frees really have been awarded anywhere in the pitch.
Free for John Heslin now. Just over 35 metres out, and a chance for him to, with 24 minutes gone here, to add to the total. Conrad Riley is being withdrawn and being replaced, obviously injured, being replaced by Garrett Hickey in the Lomans team.
Garrett Hickey will probably usually play in the corner. I suspect maybe he'll go in there and they'll bring one up the corner forward. Possibly. Well, maybe they don't have a corner forward in there really anyway.
The kick from John Heston is high and accurate over the bar. John Heston making it 8 points to 1 after 24 and a half minutes here in the first half. And a game then when low kick out finds Jerry Egan on his own 65, and well, if the referee saw what I saw, I think a man that's on yellow would be on a second yellow and gone, but he didn't, but he did give the free. Jerry Egan with a quick free now down here to Dean McNicholas, looking for a bit of help under severe pressure, and Lomans really good at pressurising Tyrrellspass in the middle third, and they're not getting any kind of supply at all. Martin Flanagan out to try and do something. Flanagan from 45, what a score by Martin Flanagan. Well, Martin Flanagan, something obviously happened off the ball there between Dean McNicholas and David Whelan, and whether the linesman saw it or not, and Rowley is very unhappy, but linesman is not getting involved. A lot of remonstrating by the line with by the Lomans management with the linesman. And clearly the linesman didn't see whatever went on. But to be fair, one would have to say 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, because there was an incident before that with a Lomans player involved who was on a yellow card that would have led to major problems for Declan Rowley. And he can be happy that his team is 8 points to 2 up, 26 minutes into the first half. And
no, it's been all football so far. I can't say I didn't see what happened there, but
we'll wait and see what happens from this injury.
Another thing to note there is just Martin Flanagan's after pulling out a piece of absolute genius to get a point for Tyrrellspass. So they're really living off scraps. If he's going to be left to do that again, I think we're living in a different world. So we're going to need to put more moves together in order to get more scores on the board.
And the funny thing is, Peter, Tyrrellspass hasn't had that many wide, have they? Tyrrellspass come wide so far, and it just wants to show how starved their football line has been on ball. And now that's why you see Martin Flanagan on the road the field. You need Martin Flanagan on the ball. It just shows what he can do when he gets his hand on the ball. So Tyrrellspass really needs to get him as much ball as possible.
Yes, they brought Martin out last week against in the game against Dennis's team, and he can contribute. He might be 37 years of age, but he looks remarkably fit.
David Whelan is up and okay, and good to see that. He resumes his place as the kick out from Stephen Gallagher into the middle of the field. Flanagan knocks it down. Jamie Ganu trying to get onto it, and Brian Slevin. Eventually the free is given to Tyrrellspass into Brian Slevin, and a free, and Kieran Kilmurray and Martin Flanagan are certainly unlikely to be sending Christmas cards to one another the way things are progressing out there. But anyhow, it ends up with a free for Tyrrellspass on the D, and Jerry Egan with this chance. High over the bar for Jerry Egan, and with 28 minutes almost on the clock here, Tyrrellspass suddenly have 3 points on the board. It's 8 points for St. Lomans, 3 points for Tyrrellspass. Stephen Gallagher trying to find his man on the far side of the field. It doesn't work out as Aaron O'Brien gets the breaking ball, puts it inside. Slevin tries to win it inside, but it's knocked away. Tenacious defending, Adam Carroll onto it. Adam Carroll, the ball is touched on the ground by Adam Carroll, and a free end for Tyrrellspass, and a chance now for Jerry Egan and Tyrrellspass, who haven't performed in this first half, one has to say. Suddenly there's a chance to close to 4 points.
Gallagher's kicking tee is still on the pitch, it shouldn't be there. That's for the referee to sort out. Brightly and orange on roughly where the penalty spot is.
Jerry Egan now out near the far sideline, 35 metres out. It has the height, it has the distance, it has the accuracy. And Tidy Town are back to within 4. It's 8 points to 4 after 29 minutes of play in the first half. And a game that was being totally dominated by St. Lomans. The last few minutes got a little bit niggly, and strangely, in a situation like that, one would have felt that that wouldn't have suited Tyrrellspass, but on the scoreboard wise it has. That's a huge kick to the middle of the field and beyond. Philip Sheridan was onto it there, but it's broken well for David Whelan and Lomans. Ball to Paul Sherry now. Paul Sherry 50 metres out. Paul Sherry looked to give a very heavy challenge, but the referee didn't see anything wrong with it. Owen Price has it. Owen Price. Lomans continue to play on here. Paddy Dowdle in possession. Paddy Dowdle is adjudged to have been fouled, and now we'll have a stoppage in play as a Tyrrellspass man, and the referee is giving 4 minutes of additional time. So another stoppage in play here now. 29 minutes 50 seconds on the watch, and we'll resume with a free for Lomans about 50 metres out once this injury is dealt with.
It's a forward Charles Johnson making a bit of a comeback.
It's David then.
22 from Jerry getting the free from 35 metres.
Free now for John Heslin. Pretty well, close enough straight in front of the goals. It's a good 50 metres out, but well in the compass of this man. It's going to drop short. It's a dangerous one. It's flicked on in and over the bar. That's a very good point there by it's Willie McGovern knocking it over the bar. So 9 points for St. Lomans, 4 points for Tyrrellspass. We're 31.5 minutes here. The referee called at least 4 minutes of added time. McNicholas, wonderful piece of feeling. Back to Martin Flanagan. Martin Flanagan down here, picked up by Slevin. So Conor Slevin back out here to David Jessup. David Jessup puts it inside to David Lennon. David Lennon. Still Denon. Back here. The shot from Jerry Egan. Over the bar. That's a fine score by Jerry Egan. 9 points to 5 here. And a bit of fight in the Tidy Town now as they try to come back into this game. 9 points to 5. First half primarily dominated by Declan Rowley's men, but things have changed somewhat in the last 5 or 6 minutes. Stephen Gallagher now with the kick out from the 13-metre line. It's a nice long one right down the middle. Flanagan goes up and knocks it away from Sherry. Picked up here by by Adam Carroll. Adam Carroll is fouled. Paul Sherry with the free inside his own 65. Ball down here. Heston winning it easily out in front of his man. Leaves the ball back to Kelvin Riley. Kelvin Riley going through Shane Arthur, the judge to have fouled him there. Free for St. Lomans. 33 minutes almost on the watch, and a chance for John Heslin to add to his total. Well, he's 3 points so far. So are we going to head to half time on double scores? Heslin now. John Heslin's free is good and high and accurate over the bar. So John Heslin with his 4th score, 2 from play, 2 from frees. It's 10 points to 5. It's 33.5 minutes on the watch here. It's down to Niall Ward now. He called at least 4. Darren Quinn, the kick towards the middle of the field. McNicholas goes up, does really well, and Flanagan gets the break. Flanagan wins a free that Declan Rowley is not one bit happy about. It's a high ball in towards the full back line, but the full back line is really solid in there today. And out comes Lomans with it. David Whelan feeds the ball back there. Gary Lennon, who done some great work inside. There's Little bit of helter-skelter going on there. There's a mentor in the middle of it. Line ball for Martin Flanagan and Tyrrellspass. Quick one into Aaron O'Brien. Aaron O'Brien 20-metre line. Aaron O'Brien shot goes in and goes wide. Harmless enough effort, 34.5 minutes. I'm sure Niall Ward will blow for half time after this kick out. Stephen Gallagher gone back to get the kicking tee. And there goes the half-time whistle here after 35 minutes almost of action in the first half. It's St. Lomans leading comfortably, 10 points to 5 at the end of the first half. They dominated a lot of the possession, etc. And Conrad Riley there, who had to go off injured, encouraging his men as they come off. So we wait to see the action in the second half. At half-time, St. Lomans 10 points, Tyrrellspass 5 points. We're ready for the second half here, and Niall Ward throws it in, and away we go. The second half, Lomans 5 points up and 30 minutes away from their first championship since 1963. The ball is played in. Dennis Glennon, who hasn't really been seen in the first half, on the ball. Glennon now going by his man, which is Stephen Gilmore, plays the ball back here. The shot from Dean McNicholas, it's high. The umpires look up. The umpire likes it. It's over the bar, and Tyrrellspass are back to it within 4 points again, 10 points to 6. But interestingly, every time that they closed the game back to those 3 or 4 points, Lomans seem to come with a point or two. So will that happen with Declan Rowley's men in these early stages of the second half? The kick out around the middle field, Owen Price, who worked so hard in the first half, doing a lot of good work there. Kilmurray gets it back to Paddy Dowdle. Paddy Dowdle makes a bit of pressure, over carries the ball. Paul Sherry on the ground. No love lost between a few players out there, and the referee well, the referee isn't bringing the ball in, he's watching what's happening inside. Jerry Egan outside the 45-metre line, and the referee certainly has given some yardage to Tyrrellspass. The foul would have happened a little bit further out. Anyhow, Jerry Egan now 45 metres out, a big free for Tyrrellspass if they're to get back really into contention. It's high, it has the distance, it has the accuracy, and it's over the bar. And Jerry Egan with his he has scored 5 points, 2 from frees, and we're back to a 3-point game, 10 points to 7. It's been a while since Lomans were down to within 3 points. The short kick out by Stephen Gallagher to Shane Flynn, and Paul Sherry now has it near the 65 here on his own side of the field, near the stand. Sherry adjudged to have been fouled by a combination of Conor Slevin and Ben Gavin, and he wins the free and takes it himself long down towards the full foul line. The ball knocked down. Shane Arthur gets the break out to Jerry Egan to Ben Gavin. Ben Gavin on his own 45. Dangerous ball played across by Owen O'Neill there, but worked out for Tyrrellspass. And Martin Flanagan now on the 65 puts the ball into Shane Arthur. Shane Arthur, the 2 men with 3 medals, going for the 4th. As the ball comes in here now, and the shot goes in from David Glennon. It's high across the goal. Stephen Gallagher goes up. It's knocked out there. And the Lomans defence proven tight and accurate and well able to walk the ball out yet again. Ball gone to ground here now. The referee very, very slow, and the referee eventually decides to throw. Kelvin Riley almost assaulted there, and the referee watching on and eventually decides to throw up the ball. Throws it up between a series of players, and a free given against St. Lomans there. Not sure who the culprit was, but Jerry Egan has a huge chance now to bring it back to a 2-point game. Coming up to 4 minutes into the second half, a bit of drizzle coming on the scene now. Declan Rowley with instructions to Garrett Hickey down here as we watch Jerry Egan. It's high, it's straight over the black spot in the middle, and Jerry Egan with 3 frees and 3 from play. 6 points for him, 8 in total for Tyrrellspass. Dean McNicholas and Martin Flanagan with the other 2. It's 10-8. Kieran Kilmurray, William McGovern, Conrad Riley, Paul Sherry, all with a point each. 4 for John Heslin and 2 for Shane Dempsey, as Stephen Gallagher's kick out comes to the middle of the field. 4.5 minutes in, and the breaking ball. This time they're all going with Tyrrellspass. Brian Steven gets the break back a second time, and it goes to David Dennon. There's a player down, a Tyrrellspass man down, but we'll follow the action. There's a good block down there, good defensive work by Lomans, but it's spoiled a little bit. There's rugby tackling. There's Dean McNicholas is involved in pulling players off the ball, and the referee has held up the action again. A lot of niggly stuff going on between a few players. The referee calling back. I think Adam Carroll might be one of the players he's calling back. Yellow card for the Lomans man. And the referee decides to throw the ball up. Martin Flanagan wins it, and Martin Flanagan wins the free. Martin Flanagan certainly rolling back the years here now, putting in a big shift for Tyrrellspass in the beginning of the second half here. Nearly 6 minutes gone, and Jerry Egan with a chance to close it to 1. Difficult angle, 35 metres out, maybe 15 metres in from the far terrace sideline. Jerry Egan up he comes with his kick. It's high, and it's straight over the bar. Well, for many stages of the first half, it looked as if Tyrrellspass hadn't turned up. Suddenly St. Lomans haven't turned up at the start of the second half, and 6 minutes in we're down to a 1-point game, 10-9. Stephen Gallagher outers John Heslin, can't quite hold on to it, goes off his hands out over the sideline. Line ball for Tyrrellspass, and out on the 65-metre line here. So we have Jerry Egan now, short one to Conor Slevin, and takes it back. Egan going down the sideline, chased by Paul Sherry. Egan going across the centre here. The shot has gone in, dangerous one inside, knocked across the goal. Adam Carroll is equal to it. There's 2 Tyrrellspass men on the turf, 1 out the field, David Dennon inside. The ball out here, a foul on Shane Flynn there, and a free out for St. Lomans. The free has been taken, Kieran Kilmurray has it. Lomans walking the ball up, Garrett Hickey trying to get onto it. Goes off Kelvin Riley out over the line, and Ben Gavin has a line ball for Tyrrellspass on his own 65, or just inside his own 65. High ball in to Brian Slevin. Brian Slevin momentarily unmarked, puts the ball back to Martin Flanagan. The shot from Flanagan, it's an almighty effort, and what a point from Martin Flanagan. Martin Flanagan with an enormous point. He played his first senior football game for championship football for Tyrrellspass in 1994, and played in that final of 1994, which was an unsuccessful one for them. 19 years later, he's brought them back level in the final of 2013. John Hess being fouled there by Jamie Ganoud from the kick out, winning the free inside his own 65. Back to Paul Sherry to John Heston. They walk it between them in the middle of the field now, and lovely ball to the far side. Really good ball in there. A chance now for Dempsey. but he's passing well. It comes back to him. Shane Dempsey, he had 2 points in the first half. He's not accurate this time. It's gone wide. First wide of the second half. It came after 8.5 minutes. It came to Shane Dempsey. And at this stage, Lomans probably need to settle, need to get a score. There's an injury to a Tyrrellspass man. Stoppage in action here. Just under the 9 minutes on their watch. 10 points apiece, all to play for. Right, action resumes with Darren Quinn's kick out. Centre of the field, Kelvin Riley does very well. Fouled by Ben Gavin, wins his free and drives it on it to Garrett Hickey. Hickey now holds possession until Riley arrives. Kelvin Riley now run around his man, gets his shot in, it's high, it's going to be a really dangerous one as it drops short. Quinn is up, knocked out of his hand, fisted off the line. Shane Arthur trying to get onto it. Shane Arthur gets a boot to it. Heston has the breaking ball. Heston with the shot, and Heston puts it over the bar. 3 points from play for John Heston, 2 from frees, 5 in all, 11 for Lomans, 10 for Tyrrellspass. Darren Quinn's quick kick out to Ben Gavin. Ben Gavin has 3 Lomans men to deal with, but back to Darren Quinn and out to Philip Sheridan. Philip Sheridan down near the stand side here, 45 metres out, being chased by Kelvin Riley, who says thank you very much as he robs him of possession. Garrett Hickey now 20 metres out. Chance for Hickey, the shot from Hickey, it's looking good, it is good, it's over the bar. 2 quick points for St. Lomans, and at 11 minutes Declan Rowley is getting a little bit happier again. His team has pushed 2 points ahead. Garrett Hickey with the point. It's 12-10. Darren Quinn with the kick out. This time he goes long towards the centre. Up they go for it. A huge piece of fielding by Dean McNicholas, and comes down and gets away with it. Puts the ball into Brian Slevin. Slevin, the ball is, there's a sub on there. Anyhow, we'll follow the play. The ball is into Dennis Lennon. Lennon, not really in the action today, but this is a good effort by Lennon. No, it's not. It's wide. It's wide. First wide of the second half from Tyrrellspass. Cathal Daly appears to be in the action for wearing number 28. It seems to be in the action for Tyrrellspass. Don't know who's gone off. Stephen Gallagher's kick to the middle of the field worked out eventually as Cathal Daly failed to hold on to it, and Paddy Dowdle puts it up. Paul Sherry in space, running for the 45 metre line, running for the D, puts it inside. A chance here for Dempsey, takes his shot and put it wide. Oh, that was a huge opportunity missed for St. Lomans to stretch further in front, but easy from up here. Shane Dempsey with the wide. That's the second wide in the second half for Lomans. They still hold a 2-point lead. Darren Quinn goes long again towards similar position. Cathal Daly knocked it away. Well, the linesman feels it was knocked away by the Lomans man, possibly Paddy Dowdle or Owen Price, and it's gone out for a line ball for Tyrrellspass, taken into Shane Arthur. Shane Arthur. Tyrrellspass get the ball back to Cathal Daly. High ball in there, there's a player down, and the linesman had a very good view of it. Cathal Daly gone over to say something to the linesman, so is Kelvin Riley. I don't know who the Lomans player that's down, but are we going to have some action now?
John Heston, this was a sign of Lomans maybe have panicked slightly, and now operating out around the middle of the field. He's abandoned his full forward position for now at least, but he did steady the ship for St. Lomans to the point in the 10th minute of the half. Just on 10 minutes.
Referee calling
Gareth Hickey, who came on and said
Cathal Daly over.
for the injured Conrad Riley, got a point.
And there's a card. What colour will the card be? We have to wait and see now. It's yellow.
Outstanding. Yellow card. Dennis Tyrrellspass have certainly come out fighting the second half.
Yeah, brilliant. Tyrrellspass now for the first 10 minutes, destroying St. Lomans.
3 now for St. Lomans, and they get into Kelvin Riley. Kelvin Riley, they've weathered the early storm of the second half from Tyrrellspass. John Heston with the shot, and John Heston with a great point from out the field. The 4th point from play, 6 in total for the man from St. Lomans so far. It's 13 points to 10. Lomans pushing on again. The last 4 minutes they've yielded 3 points, and Tyrrellspass gone back out of the game. The ball comes down here, but Jerry Egan onto it now. Jerry Egan goes to ground, finds 3 players around him. He's robbed, and Lomans come back out with it. Kelvin Riley, who's played particularly well. Ben Gavin is going to be booked now. Well, the referee changed his mind as Paul Sherry, after the quick free, puts it inside to Shane Dempsey. Dempsey going for point number 3, is he? He shot his high. And it is good. It is his 3rd point. Shane Dempsey with 3 points today. It's 4 now of a lead for St. Lomans. 14 points to 10 as we head to the halfway mark in the second half. 15 minutes into the second half. Lomans player down here to our left. Looks to be Willie McGovern. The kick out has been taken. The referee is holding up the action as number 21 comes on for Tyrrellspass for Conor Slevin, and number 21 is Kieran Daly. So I think we can take it that Kieran Daly has replaced, well, we know that, Conor Slevin, and it looks as if Aaron O'Brien was the man replaced by 28 Cathal Daly at the start of the second half. The hard-working Paddy Dowdle is also off, and he has been replaced by Jason O'Toole.
An injury blow there. Paddy Dowdle gingerly lifting off the pitch. He's been replaced by the number 17. He played in the
now, ball walking up the field here. Jason O'Toole straight into the action and wins a free for St. Lomans, which Shane Flynn is about to take. Shane Flynn drives it long between Philip Sheridan and Garrett Hickey, goes loose. Dempsey goes onto the breaking ball. Dempsey has it. Dempsey leaves the ball inside. The chance here, the shot, and a goal! A goal by David Whelan is probably the goal that will bring the Flanagan Cup to St. Lomans for the first time in 50 years as we get 16 and a half minutes into the second half. Surely the killer score now. It's 1-14 St. Lomans, 10 points for Tyrrellspass as Martin Flanagan takes the short free or kick out from the goalkeeper. Is played around by a number of players there. Philip Sheridan trying to get his way out there. He's fouled, and we have a free for Tyrrellspass, which is going down, being brought up the field. It's walked up here now to Kieran Daly. The ball inside now to Cathal Daly. Cathal Daly for Tyrrellspass. Leaves the ball back to Kieran Daly. Kieran Daly with the shot goes in, and that is a very fine score, a very fine point for Kieran Daly here, but is it too little too late? 17 minutes into the second half. It's a 6-point game now. St. Lomans 1-14, Tyrrellspass 11 points.
11 points to Tyrrellspass. Look at the clock. We have 17 minutes and 13 seconds gone in the second half. St. Lomans beginning to smell maybe that long over.
Kieran Daly, number 21. Stephen Geller even with the kick out in the middle of the field. The breaking ball is, well, the referee has given a free to Tyrrellspass, and William McGovern is not the best man in the world for, and Declan Rowley goes in and says, get up with it, your son, get on with it. He's not at all impressed with William McGovern, looking for a bit of sympathy, and anyhow it's Tyrrellspass on with the action, and David Jessup. Dennis Dennon, who's been completely out of the game, wins a free on that occasion, a foul and a free end for Tyrrellspass. 18 minutes and 12 minutes to go, and well, it looks a relatively impossible task, one has to say, for Tyrrellspass, but Jerry Egan now with this free.
Another chance for Jerry Egan. I don't know how many points Gerald's got. He's got 6 or 7, I suppose, at this stage of Tyrrellspass total, and none of them have been 14-metre frees. They've all been good distance frees. This one is over on the right hand side of the pitch.
Jerry Egan 7 points already, 4 from frees. His shot goes in, it's high. The umpires look up. The umpire doesn't like it, it's gone wide. So 1-14 to 11 points.
Sitting proudly on the presentation platform, waiting for one of the two captains, either John Hedley or David Dan, to pick it up a little bit later on. We worry about that in 10 minutes ago. Stephen Gallagher with a short, tall ball, a short kick out. He's stepping back now. He's going to kick this one long.
Stephen Geller now with the kick out from the 13-metre line. It's a high one right down the middle, and Heslin and Flanagan battle for it, but it's Lomans that win the break, and Owen Price gets it off Willie McGovern into Paul Sherry. Paul Sherry now heading towards goal. Paul Sherry fouled by David Jessup, and words exchange between Paul Sherry and David Jessup. David Jessup is going to be booked by Niall Ward for that. No, he's, well, there's no card. No, he's not been booked, but it's a free, and Kelvin Riley been given the responsibility this time.
And as John is again, it's that free that we were talking about to be taken by Kelvin Riley, who takes them on this side. He's left footed.
Kelvin Riley, left-footed kicker, drives it up in the air and it goes short. Sherry underneath it. The ball breaks out to Owen Price. Owen Price has come back out to the 35-metre line, out to John Heslin. Heslin near the 45 now, going back out the field. Nice ball back to Willie McGovern. Willie McGovern puts it inside, but the ball breaks down and it's with Jamie Gannoud. Jamie Gannoud to Cathal Daly. Cathal Daly, long ball up the field, picked up there by Brian Slevin. Brian Slevin out near the sideline, puts the ball back inside there to Ben Gavin. Now David Lennon from 45 metres out in front of the goal. A high ball inside. Flanagan is in underneath it. Flanagan goes up with Stephen Gallagher is equal to it, and Stephen Gallagher gets a great fisted clearance out to Willie McGovern on his own 20-metre line. Lomans coming right up the field now. Garrett Hickey gets it, the ball knocked away from him by Martin Flanagan.
Another change in for Tyrrellspass. Number 4, Shane Arthur is being withdrawn. And he will be replaced by Stephen Quinn. Stephen is wearing number 22. He makes his way on.
Stephen Quinn gone on now for Shane Arthur. On the Tyrrellspass team.
Sideline ball still going to be taken by Riley.
Kelvin Riley puts the ball back to John Heslin. John Heslin to Paul Sherry. Paul Sherry on the centre of the field. Paul Sherry goes forward now. Very strong player. Foul going forward and a free, and free for St. Lomans, and John Heston now from 45 metres out, close enough in the centre, a central kind of a kick, and a good chance for him to stretch the lead to 7. 22 minutes into the second half. It's, one can't really see Lomans losing a lead of this size.
Not typical of him, but the pressure is on. Gerard's under a different sort of pressure than Heston. Gerard
Martin Flanagan ran across the free taker, seeing that Paul Sherry had gone loose, and Niall Ward punishes it with bringing Heston even closer. So now John Heston not more than 35 metres out, dead straight in front of the goals, and this should be a tap over for the Lomans man. It goes in, it goes over the bar. John Heston, he's third free of the day and 4 from play. That's a total of 7 points. 23 minutes, almost on the watch. The quick kick out from Darren Quinn, and it's walked up the field here to Stephen Quinn. Stephen Quinn puts it on to Jamie Gannoud. Jamie Gannoud for Tyrrellspass. Chased by Owen Price, still has possession. Puts the ball inside there, Turrs Brian Slevin. Referee judges it with a foul there. There's a free for Tyrrellspass, and Jerry Egan with a chance now, but
6 minutes 50 seconds plus a couple more minutes.
7 points behind.
Really get this one over the bar. He's remarkably accurate.
As Tyrrellspass look to bring Ronan Dunbar onto the action.
About 25-30 metres out.
Tom Coffey with some instructions to him. Jerry Egan with the right-footed kick. It's high. It's looking good. It's swinging in between the posts. A good point for Jerry Egan. He gets the score number So Ronan Dunbar replacing Philip Sheridan on the Tyrrellspass team. And meanwhile Stephen Gallagher's kick out. Jerry Egan chasing back there, being harried by John Heslin, being fouled by John Heslin, and a free for Tyrrellspass. Ben Gavin gets it back. Jerry Egan fouled again. Quick free Jamie Ganood now. Jamie Ganood. An incident there between Jerry Egan and Garrett Hickey, but I think Ben Gavin has the ball. The play goes on. The ball out there with Cahill Daly inside, and Lennon has it inside. A little bit of action that he's seen today, and Dennis Lennon puts it over the bar. First point for Dennis Lennon as a sub comes on for Lomans, number 18, David Rush, replacing Adam Carroll.
For St. Lomans, which will about 4.5 minutes. Yeah, and the winners is 50 years.
So Tyrrellspass have a line ball here. It's put in across a loose kind of a ball. Dennis Lennon didn't seem to make any effort to go for it, and the ball breaks away here and is picked up by the Lomans defenders. Ball put out there, knocked away, and it's back with Tyrrellspass. Walked here, Flanagan onto Martin Flanagan. Still Martin Flanagan puts the ball in. Dennis Lennon has it. Dennis Lennon foul and a free in for Tyrrellspass. Well, there's only 4 minutes left. It's 1:15 to 13. It's a 5-point game. So Jerry Egan now. Jerry Egan puts it over the bar. Nine points for Jerry Egan today. He's going to be the leading scorer probably, but looks as if he, I suppose 26 and a half minutes as a 4-point game. Lomans look to be comfortable enough, but it's maybe getting a little bit tight now. Middle of the field where Lomans had dominated. Flanagan manages to help the breaking ball. Jerry Egan puts it inside, and here comes Tyrrellspass with Slevin. Brian Slevin now. Referee sees no foul there. Paul Sherry wins the breaking ball to Garrett Hickey. Garrett Hickey now. Stephen Quinn trying to get back to Paul Sherry. Paul Sherry now. Kelvin Riley and Lomans bringing the ball forward and doing the right thing, winning possession and working it up the field to Shane Dempsey. And there's a foul by Tyrrellspass, which gives John Heston a chance to put another point on the board, and more importantly knock the clock down towards the 30th minute. 27 and a half minutes. I see Jimmy Davitt, one of the selectors for Lomans, standing up there on the sideline looking a little bit apprehensive, but it has to get nearer for them now as the clock ticks away. Christy Martin on the sideline also looking anxious. John Heston, 20-metre line, only no more than 10 metres from the far terrace side of the pitch. Difficult angle, but a chance to put Lomans 5 points clear. Sends it in, and it's knocked down, and it's saved by the goalkeeper, and he's coming out. He hasn't much support, but he wins a free, and it's put out the field here. Now the ball walked up here to Jerry Egan. Jerry Egan skipping away from a few players. Ben Gavin now working hard. The ball is put up the field here, and it's won well there by David Lennon. David Lennon, the ball inside but given away, and good work by the defender there. David Rush doing good work there, cutting it out, and David Rush puts the ball across here. It's walked eventually to Kieran Kilmurray. 28 and a half minutes. It looks very much like it's Lomans' title. The ball back to John Heston. John Heston, middle of the field, holding the play up for a minute. There's 4 points in it. Into Garrett Hickey. Hickey, the ball inside here, but it's cut out by Owen O'Neill to David Jessup. Tyrrellspass trying to build for another effort. But the ball it's not moving out of their defence very much. Ben Gavin, it's still in the defensive side of the field from a Tyrrellspass point of view. It's worked from Stephen Quinn across the far side there, and going up the far side is David Jessup. David Jessup puts it inside. With good work there by the defender, and it's David Rush. David Rush with a few great interceptions there. The ball out to David Whelan, who's played really well. Lomans working very well out of defence. Jason O'Toole now. The defence has been the cornerstone of this victory. They've been very tight. They've confined Tyrrellspass today. 29 minutes and 40 seconds. It's down to added time. The board hasn't gone up that I've seen. But Lomans in possession, and Owen Price, who's had another fine game, into Shane Dempsey. Shane Dempsey knocks it down. Shane Dempsey wins a free end. He scored 3 points today, and he has played a huge part in Lomans' run to the title. Yellow card there for Owen O'Neill. Shane Dempsey doing the good work, and a chance here now for Don Heslin to 2 minutes of added time. Well, we remember what happened in a famous game here in the semi-final that Lomans won, but I can't see it happening here. John Heslin puts the ball over the bar. It's a 5-point game. John Heslin with the point, and Tyrrellspass would have to score 2 goals to come back into it. Brian Murphy, he's not on yet. Lomans tried to put him on, but there was a short kick out there, and Stephen Quinn has the ball from David Jessup. It's back there with Daly. Kieran Daly puts it inside here, but it's gone out and out over the sideline. We have a line ball for St. Lomans. The clock ticks down. There's David Rush. Willie McGovern called the show for the last couple of minutes, and Brian Murphy going in for him. 35 seconds of the 2 minutes have added to go. The ball is kicked out over the line here. A line ball for Jerry Egan and Tyrrellspass, 65 metres out. It's kind of kick and hope now at this stage. Drives it in, and yet again John Heston was back there helping out. Lomans winning, Tyrrellspass winning the break there and winning the free. A free as we enter. There's only 6 seconds of the time left. A 5-point game, and I suppose for the history books, Martin Flanagan has won 3 medals with Tyrrellspass, and he scored in all the finals they won. He didn't score in the finals they lost. He hasn't scored today. It looks like they're going to lose. Jerry Egan puts the ball over the bar. Not much point in trying to work at else. Jerry Egan, the leading scorer here today. 10 points. 10 points, 8 for John Heslin. Dennis Denon only getting a point, but it looks like 50 years of waiting is over for St. Lomans. The sub's about to go out to celebrate. Stephen Geller with the kick out. There's the whistle, the final whistle, and St. Lomans for 2013 are the champions, or the Westmeath champions. St. Lomans, 1 goal and 16 points. Congratulations to them. The men from Tyrrellspass, 15 points. So 50 years after their last victory, St. Lomans, a famous victory here. They were the better team from start to finish. They tightened their defence from previous games and whatever, and Declan Rowley, a happy man in the middle of the field. Congratulations to St. Lomans, commiserations to Tyrrellspass. The 2013 Westmeath Senior Football Final from Ollie Gallagher Video Productions. Congratulations to St. Lomans. St. Lomans 116, Tyrrellspass 15 points.